Hello, everybody. Hi, Steph.
Hello.
Bit different this week. Faye is off on her holidays, so
She never
it's Debbie
mentioned
and
it.
Steph today. So what are you up to today, Steph?
Okay, so I'm doing one of the cyber crop challenges. I've got these really cute yam bombed bollards in a town near where I live, and I'm going to use one of the Simple Stories templates from the shop. I don't know if people have seen these, but I bought all of them and I really like them, so I'll show you how to use them. This is a bit of a clue. So that's what I'm doing.
Marvelous. Well, I'm having a go at the Wanderlust again, but I have got something to show you. I've been playing with the draw and cut on my scan and cut. So instead of cutting using a line, so I've made, just experimenting at the moment, but I think they make quite a nice background or something quite nice to start with.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Is the ink like, can you go mixed media over it, and or will it smudge, do you know?
It depends which pen you use, because I have used, you have to get special holders, but this one was done with a Sharpie, but I don't think it did the Sharpie much good. And yeah, it's come out quite thick because Sharpies are quite blobby, but this is really cheap card, but I just used it to try. So yeah, I don't know. So it's all in an experimental stage at the moment.
I look forward to seeing how you finish them off in the future.
Hi, Michelle. Nice to see you.
Let me get
I'm
the comments.
just going to try and copy the link.
Yeah, so I'll try and get it up so I can see some comments too. I feel a bit out of practice of this.
Oh, I may. Let me just copy the link.
I think Faye's done it actually.
Faye's done it. Oh, she's good. Hi, Faye, if you're there. I know she's very busy doing family things. Right, I need a little bit of black cardstock, I think.
Okay. Oh, we've got Ali and we've got Kate as well joining us in the comments.
Hi, Kate. Hi, Ali. And Sue's with you. Ali and Sue.
Oh, yes, sorry.
No, that's
Kate,
fine.
you'll be pleased to know I've pre-distressed all my cards, especially for you tonight. I thought
just
about
for Kate.
it. Right, so the challenge that I'm doing is... Oh, I've lost a bit of paper. Hang on. I had it a second ago.
Hi, Vicky.
Is Sarah's challenge, which you have to use 3 of the following items: either a floral cut file, floral stickers, floral die cuts, hand-drawn florals, or stenciled florals. I'm aiming to use floral stencil, which I realise I haven't got that many, die cuts, and then maybe stamped is what I'm planning to do. So
fabulous.
We'll just see how we get on.
I am think I need to back that part in black because otherwise it doesn't show up much, but I've got my photos, which is not like me. Normally I haven't got my photos ready, but I want to add more to this. I've done a mixed media background. You get the tire stencil in the kit, but I've made it so that it can repeat. So I've managed to do a tire sort of crisscrossing all over the page, but I want to add a bit more texture to it. So I think I'm going to stamp through the stencil. I do like doing that sometimes.
Did you know what I would sit and do that would take forever? I would doodle around it.
You doodle that, yeah. Yeah, sometimes, Steph. You are the doodling queen though, aren't you?
I don't know, I just find it therapeutic. I spent yesterday I filled a cut file and I was like, it needs something. I just doodled around it. I mean, it took me ages, but it looked so good when I'd finished. It's like fussy cutting for me. I like fussy cutting, but it's very therapeutic.
Yeah. I can't say I hate it, but I've got other things to do, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, I'm fairly busy. Like whenever I've got time,
I have stenciled this. You can't see much of the pink, but it is there. Maybe you see it better in real life, but hopefully the blue will be a bit bolder. But even if you can't see it, I did it.
Even if it doesn't show on there, it always builds up, doesn't it? Right, I'm going to try stamping through the stencil.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
I'm not sure if there's anybody over on the YouTube because I'm on the Facebook side of things. But if anybody
Michelle,
is,
I
hello.
think, is from you on YouTube, and
Okay.
Vicky, I think, is on YouTube. See, that adds a little bit more, doesn't it? Can you see? Stamping through the stencil.
Yeah.
I'm going to carry on and do that, I think.
See, I'm a bit like, I can't be bothered to do that. Like the layering up, like start with the mixed media, then the stencil, then something. I'm a bit like, oh, it takes too long. Yeah, I'll stay
right.
doodle for. It's funny,
but then
isn't it?
doodling does, doesn't it?
But I think I'd rather doodle than do what you're doing and do like 3 or 4 layers on that. It's funny, isn't it? How preferences.
Yeah, I suppose it's if you've got somewhere comfy to doodle in front of the telly and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I like doodling, you know, I'm filling Cutfiles, and if I've had a day at work and I want to do something but not a full layout, I'll just come home and do a bit of filling in a Cutfile.
Right, I'm going to do a bit more inking on this one because I think it's a bit too pale.
Faye's put, hi, I'm trying to pick up a signal from Devon.
She's right on the edge of a cliff.
Well, don't fall over the cliff.
No.
We've got visions of it.
But haven't we had beautiful weather? Because they said all week that this week would be a real terrible week, and it's been just lovely.
Yeah, it's been quite windy here, but not necessarily cold wind.
But we've had no rain.
No.
It's been absolutely lovely.
We had a little bit Monday, I think.
Overnight we've had it. That's the only time we've had it.
Compared to some half terms, like we've had total washouts.
Oh, yeah.
And this time of year, I always think it's like the October one, it can go either way with the weather.
Yeah. But it's been fantastic. Really
I went to Leeds yesterday, which was quite nice.
Oh, nice. I've only been to Leeds once.
I've not been loads. I went to, there was a Miffy exhibition. Miffy the rabbit's 70 years old this year. Love Miffy.
70 years old?
Yeah, so that's what I went to look for. It was a lovely exhibition, actually.
Last time I went to Leeds was, over 36 years ago.
Wow.
I went with work. They were training me to do, it's called Money Box then. Basically a machine that gives out money. It was called the Money Box. We had to go all up there to get training, how to fill it and how to balance it, and
wow.
And it was a bit odd because I ended up going out to meet a friend of mine who was a nurse up there, a friend from school, and I didn't realise there was the Rocky Horror Show going on. Sort of in Leeds.
It's like, is this what life's like in Leeds?
Oh dear, Leeds is a little bit.
They're a bit different here.
Yeah. Yeah, and he went, oh, Rocky Horror Show, isn't it? It's like, oh. I had a very odd perception of it up till then.
Yeah. I've been a couple of times, mainly to see shows and do a trail. That's about all I've been. So it was weird going for not a show and not a trail, just to go and, go to the museum and things. So
yeah. Oh, we didn't have a lot of time. It was just work, really.
Yeah.
And a couple of evenings, but yeah.
Right. I've been trying to use up some odd collections this week. So I'm using up some of my 49 marker Spectrum Gardenia. So this had a big cut in. So I've just covered up that tape with the sticky tape, just stop that. So I've used up this paper. I don't even know where this came from, but it's already stitched on it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the template on here. So you can use this template in lots of different ways. So they suggest that what you can do is, first of all, use this part to draw around like a photo mount, effectively. But I don't do it that way. So what I do is I put it down, and then I cut my photo a little bit smaller. So I make that one panel, and then I put my photos in. But if you wanted to, you could then draw around it again and sort of triple mat it in a sense.
That's probably how I would do it, though.
Yeah.
Because you've got it placed then, haven't you?
Yeah. And another thing I watched a video on it the other day, and the lady, so for example, say you had this photo, that's obviously bigger than the square, but she just used it as a photo placement. So she kept it, but used a template to sort of push it into the corner like that.
Yeah.
And even though it took up more, it just gave you like a nice gap between the other photos, which
Yes.
I thought was a really good tip, which I would have thought of.
Yeah. Because when you leave gaps, that's when it can look really wonky, can't it? That's why I'd be more inclined to put it on the page. Because I think once you stand back, that's when it looks completely wonky, doesn't it?
Yeah, but no, I got the ones in the shop. There's more than what you've got in the shop, but I got those ones and I was like, okay, I need it. And even like there's some that are just like basic 4x6 and 3x4s, and you think, well, I could measure that, but like you say, it's that little gap border measurement that
that's why I like Cutfiles, because once you cut it, you know that everything's completely, even if I put things and I think they're spaced out correctly, I'm never that happy with it. I must be a little bit fussy, I think, but it just always seems a little bit on the wonk.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't remember how I wanted these now. Did I want pink or blue? Maybe try the blue. Karen says we need a Miffy paper collection. Yeah, it's funny. I've come home last night, and I think it was that way. I come home last night and I sorted my photos out, and I found some stickers on eBay. That's what I'm going to use to sort of make some embellishments, and I'm just going to use the bold colours, because I didn't realise Dick Bruner actually had his own paper colours made for him. So he only used like primary colours with the occasional bit of orange and the occasional bit of brown. But the colours he used are like custom made for him, which I didn't realise. So that was interesting fact.
So all the books were all the same, because the images... Do you know, I thought that as well. I got some Miffy fabric in COVID times, and I made Miffy masks. Masks. And the fabric is definitely just like the red is that definite red, and it doesn't change.
No.
You can like intermingle them.
But yeah, it was a really, there was loads of little things like about his books, which I've read them, but you know, like you don't know, I said that each page is only 4 lines because he wanted them to be very simple. And the second word on the last line on the last word on the second row and the 4th row rhyme. But I thought that was really interesting as well, little things. And then it also talked about artists that he was inspired by, like Matisse and things like that. But he sketched, there was a big like exhibition of how he did his artwork. So the first one was like he drew a pencil sketch, and then he like traced it out, and then he almost like paper pieced it together and cut it out of scraps, because there was a pile of scraps where he'd cut like Miffy's ears out and stuck it on. So it was all like a paper piece picture rather than coloured in, and I never knew that.
But then I suppose Hungry Caterpillar, those are all paper piecing. And they're like mixed media paper, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, you could imagine all those papers being done on
it explains why I probably like those two authors too, because I drawn to the bold colours and the simplicity. I thought that explains a lot of my attraction.
Yes.
But it was only a small exhibition, but I'm pleased they made the effort to go. It was lovely.
I think there's a Wallace and Gromit or something trail.
There is, yeah.
With us, but
I'm not sure I'll get to it though, because I've got obviously a busy summer ahead.
Yes.
I'm going to London for my 40th. So I'm going to walk the Monopoly board. So that's going to be our main holiday this year.
So when is your big birthday? Is it?
So my birthday's next month, but the reason I've pushed it to summer is because you're going to get a week off in May.
Yeah.
And also my dad's going to TT with my brother. He was it was supposed to be my sister-in-law going, but due to her uni work she wasn't able to get the time off, so my dad was the backup, so he's away for the week. So it actually was better to push it back, and it means we can go on like a Sunday to a Thursday. It's a bit cheaper than going Monday to Friday, so it all worked out well. Hopefully the weather will be better, many reasons. So yeah, looking forward to feeling like the Queen and having 2 celebrations.
Oh yes. Absolutely.
Although I do feel quite good, because yesterday when I got on the bus to go to the train station, my bus fare was a little bit cheaper, and I thought, maybe because I'm not going all the way into town. No, the bus driver classed me as a young person rather than an adult, so I had 20p savings and felt really good.
How lovely.
As a young person.
Oh, that's nice.
It's little wins.
Yeah. Well, one of my mum and dad's friends said they were surprised that I was going to be the age I am for my big birthday, so that was nice.
Oh, that's
I don't know how old he thought I was, but he knew it was a big birthday.
Don't ask if he thought it was going to be more.
No. Yeah, just leave it at that. Just be complimentary.
Yeah, just go, thank you very much, and then bow out.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm going to ink the edge of this. And
I can take this template off now. So this is my flowery die cut. It was a big bit that I've chopped up, and then I think what I might do is use the off-cut bits to decorate these cornery bits. Right,
I love that, cornery bits.
Yeah, that's the technical term.
It's a technical term. See, I knew exactly what you meant, cornery bits.
You know when you lay things out, then it doesn't look how you... I took a picture, but it's on my phone that I'm using for comments, so we're just going to roll it maybe like that. Sorry, what was you going to say?
Has anyone what's everybody been up to this week? Because it's been, for a lot of us, it's been the holidays, isn't it? Oh, Faye, we had quite bad weather, quite bad rain overnight, but the rest of the week in the daytime, it's just been sunny, no rain. A little bit colder this week, but it's been fabulous. I'm thinking about a slight black border on this.
Yeah, I like a black edge. Do you know what I sometimes do if I don't want to do a full black edge? This is a good tip I picked off somewhere. I've got
You use a pen, don't you? Yeah.
Sharpie, just run it along the edge. I'll show you. I've got this is a bit of scrap here, so it does make a difference. Yeah. But you have to be quite sort of brave and go for it.
See, Faye, you are the Steph, you're the doodling queen, and I'm not really that
bold.
Yeah. See, if I make that, then I've got my tire bits done as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. I'm not brave enough to doodle.
Faye's looking forward to your big birthday, Debbie, your celebrations.
Yes. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I can't believe it's that already because, yeah.
Do you know, I feel like privileged to get to that age. So I lost my friend 2 years ago. And, you know, that's a big sort of like, you know, you realise not everybody can get to celebrate like big things. So I'm like, you know what? I am not bothered about it. It's a privilege to get there, you know?
I'm not bothered about mine. I'm just like, how did this happen so quickly?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I mean, my children, my babies are like adults in their 30s. It's just like, how did that happen? Yeah, it's...
He was busy having fun and you blinked.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're having even more fun now, all this crafting. I mean, when they were younger, I didn't do all this. I did lots of sewing things.
A lady in the work yesterday, I had a look around and she says she's buying bits for her daughter. I got from the conversation she was having with the man on the till. And she's like, she's got bits everywhere. So I've bought her this box. Hopefully she'll all put it together and it'll keep it all contained. But this is the second box I've bought her now because it just goes all over. And I was chuckling to myself. And she went, I said, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but I'm a crafter too, and 2 boxes will not contain it all. It'll become a 3rd box and then a 4th box. And she went, but it's better than it being out on the streets and things, isn't it? I said, yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Yeah, it was so funny. I was like, yeah, if only you know what potential could happen. She looked like she was making like these, she had like these masks, you know, like blank masks, and she was decorating them. So it looked like a good little hobby. But yeah, I was thinking to myself, going, not quite sure about that.
Oh no, it just grows, doesn't it? I mean, I've got stuff, I've got wool, I mean, you name it, I've done it. See,
I've tried to keep mine too, just paper crafting.
Well, I didn't know about paper crafting until I was older. So I've started off with sewing and I used to make little door plaques. I've done salt dough, like coffee cozies and things like the cafetiere covers. I mean, I've done it all.
I like going to those little taster sessions that they do nowadays, you know, where you can like go and try this so I've been doing that quite a bit.
Yeah. I went to a glass one with my daughter I bought it for her for Christmas. That was nice. The only
one I've yet to find. Every time there's been one, I've been surprised at a show. So that's the only one I've yet to find. I'm doing needle felting in a couple of weeks.
Oh, I've done that as well. I enjoyed that, but it's not something I feel I have to do again.
Yes, that's how I was. I did that with wet felting and like a clay mask. Yes, I've tried it. I enjoyed it. You know, carry on.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel a complete need to do it unless the grandchildren particularly wanted something and I thought I could make it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll tell you what I have done. There was a local charity sort of thing near us, and it was like for well-being and feel like a busy job, and I got to try blacksmithing, which was really cool.
Oh.
And I remember walking in and I had hot pink nails at the time, and I saw him sort of look at my nails and go, oh, she's going to be very delicate. And I was the one giving it the most welly whacking like it and filing everything. And he went, I have to say, sis, when I saw your nails, I thought you wouldn't be very much into this. I says, don't be fooled by
Exactly.
you know, pink nails. I had a whale
Don't
of a time.
judge me. Yeah. I love stuff like that. Something a bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Helen's went to a local country park for Easter hunt. That's good.
Nice.
I hope you took some pictures.
What were you hunting, Helen?
Would guess maybe eggs if it was an Easter hunt.
Oh, potter's wheel. My sister-in-law did that for her birthday and she absolutely loved it. She's a cake maker. She's an amazing cake maker and she thought she'd be really rubbish at it. But yeah, it's fabulous.
I've done a clay mass. So this is me and Tuesday. So it was a clay mass, and you got the base, and you were supposed to do it. There was either a fairy option or like, you know, the green man with the leaves. And I was like, do you have to do what everybody else is doing? And she went, well, I only had these items. I was like, yes, but do you have to? She went, not if you want to. So I did the hungry caterpillar face with a butterfly and eggs. It was easy to know which was mine when I went to collect it. Let's put it that way. But I was like, no, I don't want to do the same.
I was having a clear out today and I thought I'm not getting rid of the little pottery things I made. But I used to go to pottery at a local community centre when I was in the 6th form. But the minute you left school, it was so expensive. I couldn't afford it anymore. I'll show you the little person I made. This is my little prince I made.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And then I went on to make them out of Fimo. I used to make little wedding
toppers. Yeah.
The wedding cakes and like personalize them.
Yeah.
But I did draw the line when somebody said her husband was having tartan checked trousers. I said, I can't do that with Fimo. I can't do that.
Yeah, I found my limit.
Yeah. I mean, people had all sorts. People wanted, I did the family cat before now to go on a wedding cake. And
why not?
Exactly. And I saw somebody the other day, she's still got hers and she must have got married, at least 30 years ago. And I thought, that's nice. Just kept it. Right, I'm thinking I'm putting that there.
Right, so I've got die cut, stenciled, they're die cut. I just need some stamped flowers. So I've dug out my Vicky Booten stamps because I thought, who has flowers? And that's...
Oh, you can't go wrong with Vicky Booten stamps, can you?
No. So I'm going to cut a few of those. I need a title, but I might put the title maybe in that centre one. Actually, I probably should doodle on that one. Where's my pen gone? Do you know what? These lines make stuff just disappear. I'm sure of it. Here we go.
You're doing a bit of a doodle now. So brave.
Yeah, I've doodled my edges because I can't not now. It's funny, I was going through some albums the day before I started doodling on Cutfiles, and some that haven't been doodled, and I was like really tempted to go back, and I'm like, no, you didn't doodle then, just move on. But it just looks so strange and sort of bare.
Yeah, I've gone back and culled some of mine just because I thought they're not my favourite, and I've got so many. And the ones I really don't like, I've just got rid of. And the ones that I think are okay-ish, but not my favourites, I've chopped down to A4 because it takes less space. Just because I can't keep everything.
Yes, I'm already overflowing with my current storage. So I'm having to think of like where do I go to next? You know.
Yeah.
It's a definite issue.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Because I don't want to leave. I want to leave my very favourite layouts to be in albums. I don't want somebody to think, oh, these are a bit naff, or you know.
Yeah, it shows progress though, doesn't it? You know, because like what you you know did then and versus what you can do now.
Oh, definitely.
Flowers. Maybe.
And also it's products, isn't it? Because when I first started, there weren't like the laser cuts, and it just wasn't a thing, was it?
It was, you grabbed what you could basically, wasn't it? And you sort of used, like, I've got loads of like weird stuff. Like there's a school layout. It was me actually at nursery, and it's got you'd hate it. It's got this chunky ruler on the bottom, and I remember buying it in Tesco's. It was one that folded up, so it's like well hinged, but it was
I know
along the bottom of the page. And like I was like, oh, this is like 50p. It's a great embellishment, you know. But now you just, you'd probably got it on a piece of paper with a ruler on. But, you know, back then it was like, I found something I can use, you know. And I use a lot of things out of crackers, like, you know, like little small gifts out of crackers and things like that.
Yeah. Well, I used, I was on a group on UK Scrappers, and there was a challenge to using, I ended up using a takeaway tin, for goodness sake. I mean, it was just dire. It was awful. I ended up using beads and necklaces. That's why I don't like it thick, because it's so heavy.
I've got some beads on some pages.
And then they damaged the page underneath as well.
Yeah.
Which I really struggle with.
And it's funny because some of my early albums, they're in just like random photos that I just pulled off that I wanted to scrap. There's no kind of logic to them, but I'm like, it shows progression of my skills improving, even though the photos are random. So I thought if I put them into like chronological order, it'd be like a good one, a not so good one, a medium one. So I've kept them haphazard because it shows a different kind of progression.
Mine are in the order that I've made them, not in chronological, because it would be a week's job, I think, to go back and do them all. Oh, sorry, that's me pinging. Tell you what that's for. That's to tell me to go live with Faye. Let me just.
Right, I've got some leaves. I need flower, so let's try. How much purple? Let's try this one. That's quite. Let's try this one because actually it'll be easier to cut out.
Oh, fish ponds. Pen pots.
Can't go wrong with pen pots. I have lots of pen pots because I use all the mugs because I don't drink hot drinks. So all my mugs from school become pen pots.
Oh, I just had a cull of me mugs because it was ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. So I had a mug cull. They went to the charity shop. I just thought I can't.
I don't do candles either because, you know, all this paper is probably not a good idea. But this was a nice candle that I got at the end of term, so it's now my glue pot.
And there's nothing. That's lovely.
Yeah. It had a little lid on it actually as well, like a little wooden lid. So I actually, and weirdly, I got two. So the other one's like in that quite cute little pot. So I'm like, let's turn it into something else.
Very cute. We're good at repurposing stuff, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, this needle felting class I've got to go to. The lady that I'm going with, someone from work, she went, you need to bring a mug or a cup with you. And I'm like, what? To feel like you drink? She went, no, we're making something to go in the cup. So I'm guessing you like put whatever in and then you build it coming out. So I thought, so I'm going to take a few options so I can decide what to do on the day.
Oh, nice.
It seems a bit confusing to myself, to be honest, but I'm sure all will be revealed.
Give me 2 seconds a minute.
No problem. Anybody doing anything for Easter this weekend? Or I've got no plans. Well, I'll probably just do a bit of scrapping. Oh, actually, I'm lying. I have got plans. I'm going to a show. I booked the show last year and just thought April the 19th seemed, reasonable date, not realising it was Easter Saturday. So that was not a very good idea.
Where are you going, Steph?
Manchester with my friend. It's going to be weird. I'm actually going with somebody, so I have to remember that I'm going with somebody to talk to them and chat to them at the interval, and because normally I just sit by myself reading my programme.
That would be really nice.
Yeah, it's seeing a film. It's called The Knight's Tale. I don't know if you've heard of it. It was a 90s film with Heath Ledger, but it's the musical version of it. So they've done a lot of 90s films this year. They've turned into musicals. But there's engineering works on the line we're going to, but luckily you can get to Manchester. So I was like, phew, we escaped all that. So
you Manchester way?
No, I'm 2 hours from Manchester on a train. So I get on the train and it's straight through, 2 hours, I'm there. So it's really easy to get to.
I met somebody from Manchester last week. It's the mum of my son's best friend in China. So we met up and that was nice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it's really easy to get to. And if need be, sometimes, like yesterday for Leeds, I just had to change at Doncaster. So it's like half an hour on the train, change, then another half an hour. So it's not too bad for getting to places and things. So that's good.
The trains really dear, though. They're ever so expensive.
Yeah. But if you go, I think like if it's rare that, I mean, there's two of us going saying she didn't fancy driving, that's why we're going. But if I'm going on my own, I'm like, it's not so bad. If there's like 3 or 4 of you going, I think it's cheaper to go in a car and then pay petrol and parking. So yeah, there's pros and cons. I
wasn't confident enough to drive. Well, we actually met at Heathrow because she was looking after her daughter's dog for the week. So that was the nearest place, but took me quite a while to get there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Left the house at 6 and got there at 11. And
was that straight through, or did you have to change?
No, I had to get a bus into Bristol, then a coach to Heathrow, and I got home 7 in the evening. So it's quite a long day.
Yeah.
But the train is so dear.
Oh, I saw Cruel Intentions, Faye. That was one of the other 90s films I saw the other week. It's so good, actually. But the way that it's quite close to the film, but what they've done is like some musicals that like do a lovely like easy flow into a song to speech. They've made it like really obviously, let's just sing a song about this. So like one of them goes, oh, I'd like to practice kissing, and it just starts playing the song Kiss Me. There's no like smooth into it. It's just like stop, start. But that's what makes it funny, that it's part of the whole joke of the show. But no, I would definitely recommend, if you can get to see it, Faye, I would go see it. Hopefully it'll tour a bit longer. But yeah, it was really good. Sorry, that probably just makes it worse now that you couldn't get to see it because I've just told you it was really good. That's just like rubbing it in, isn't it?
Well, if we're ever looking for musicals, we'll go on your recommendations, Steph.
I like, there's time for being serious, but there's sometimes for, let's just have a laugh. And
oh, absolutely. I loved I don't go to many musicals, but we went to see Matilda for my daughter's birthday.
I've not seen that. It's on the list.
And that was brilliant. But the Mrs. Trunchbull was played by a man, and he was so good. It really kind of made it.
Yeah. I think traditionally she is played by a man in the musicals. I think that's sort of been part of the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking of when I go to London, there's a musical at the minute. It's a comedy musical called Titanic. And it's basically like the story of Titanic, but told through Celine Dion songs. But it sounds really like, I've seen clips of it, and it sounds really taking them, the mick out of it themselves and all this. And again, I thought, yeah, that sounds like something.
Yeah.
But it's only in London, so
isn't it?
Yeah. Wondered how they would create it into a musical, she said.
Yeah, I do love a musical. I Sound of Music. Went to see as a child at the cinema, and I just loved that.
See, I this is like a new thing for me. So I watched a show, I think it was 2006, I saw Starlight locally, and then didn't see anything else. And then I think it was 2019, everybody's talking about Jamie was played at the cinema, you know, like they do the shows at the cinema.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, that sounds like my kind of thing. It's a bit of drag, this, that, the other. So I went to see it. In the interval of the cinema, I'd ordered the soundtrack, and then by the time I'd got home, I'd worked out how to get to London to go see the real thing. And then I just saw loads and loads of shows. Then obviously lockdown happened, so I got a lot of shows that I'd had booked that I had to either to change, cancel, whatever. And I try and see at least one a month. So yeah, it's another expensive hobby, basically.
See, Joseph, that was one of my all-time favourites.
I enjoyed that, and I actually saw that with Jason Donovan was the fairy when I saw it,
Yes.
which I thought was nice.
Yeah, I saw it with Jason Donovan as Joseph.
Yeah, he's obviously a bit too old now to.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I saw it, Steph.
Yeah, but it was
very
still
good.
good. The fact that he was in it, you know, so it was like.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just fussy cutting these out, and then hopefully I can tuck these in, and then I've done all parts of the challenges. So, how's anybody started any of the challenges or getting on with them? How's everybody doing with the cybercrop challenges?
I think Faye's done a few.
Yeah, I've done the white one. It's scheduled to be my next DT, so you'll see that on the 23rd. But I have done it. I saw Faye posted her white one today. It looks really good, actually, as a wedding photo.
Yes, it looks lovely, doesn't it? Is that too much with the white flowers at the bottom? I don't know if it's. I think it's a bit too girly.
And it covers up your road
tracks.
Yeah,
it covers up your tyre tracks.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
It's looking good, that though.
Thank you.
That star's nice. Is that a stamp? The star.
Sorry.
As the stars, are they stamps?
Yes.
Peeking out.
They are my new bargain from Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, I think I saw you commented on them actually, because I think you and Faye were sort of tag teaming between
you. Yes.
Yeah, I did see that actually, because I was like, oh,
Faye let me astray. It was Faye, all Faye's fault.
I'm sure there'll be a comment about that in a second.
But I love a Seth Apter stamp.
I think I've got a couple of them, although I didn't realise they were at the time until I heard you talking about them.
These are
the ones I've
got.
Yeah, it's nice that.
And they're just lovely. Yeah. Fabulous.
Right, I might chop this flower in half. It's getting tucked under. Hang on, I've missed the chat. Helen, Helen's hoping to make a start, and then when the boys go back to school, I remember you saying that. Helen Nichols saw Joseph in London with Lee Mead as Joseph, and Faye loves an expensive hobby. I saw Lee Mead actually came to Scunthorpe and did like a little intimate, like 300 show last year actually, and I saw him then. But he's had his hair cut and looks so different with short hair. But it was so lovely hearing him. He was like talking about how the day he applied for this Joseph show, he was sat in his dressing room. I can't remember what show he was doing, and everybody had gone out for lunch. And he stayed because he says I couldn't afford to go out for dinner, so he stayed and was like eating his rice or whatever he said. And like Graham Norton was like, "Could you be the next Joseph?" He was like, "Yes, I could." And he applied and obviously went through and won the show. So he was like, it was clearly meant to be, like, you know, right place, right time and everything. But yeah, it was a really nice little show with him singing a few songs and then talking about, you know, little bits and bobs from his career. So yeah, it was good.
Nice.
Oh, I've not seen Miss Saigon. That doesn't really appeal to me, that one. I'm not really. Oh, Seven Brides, no. White was out of Faye's comfort zone, but she loved how it looked. It did look really good. I think for a wedding photo as well, it was really good.
I love Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. That's one of my all-time faves.
Right, I think we'll have. Maybe should have done a different green, but never mind. We're committed now. Right. I think I'll just cut a few of those blue flowers out and then kind of leave it on there and there. Let's see how we go.
Right, I think.
Faye's taking the blame for the stamp. She says, yes, my fault.
Yeah. They were a bargain though, and
yeah, they were a good price. Yeah.
The stuff. It's just amazing.
And it's just on that group, it's just been right place, right time, isn't it? You know, there's so many good stuff, and I'm like, oh, I was at work, and it all happened, you know, while I was at work.
Well, do you want to see my absolute vintage bargain that arrived yesterday? Might make you a bit envious.
I'm not on Vinted. I've not gone down that rabbit hole.
Well, I went on Vinted. I've bought sort of clothes and things, but this is my absolute bargain from Vinted that arrived yesterday, and it is Vicky Booten's gel print starter kit.
Oh yeah, I've seen that advertised on various places.
£5.
You're joking? That was not a £5 because I saw the price of it and thought, no, I don't need to learn gel printing.
That was a £5. So get on Vinted stuff.
Well, maybe I can't. Well, I can afford to, but maybe I don't need to. That's but well, fair play to you. Someone did not know what they had there.
No.
What is it, about 50, 60, 70 pound or something?
I've seen them on eBay for 38.
Yeah, I'm sure it was more than that, the one I saw. So that was
it's got a jelly plate in. It's got tools. It's got stencils. It's got paint.
For one of those items, like £5 for the one item, or the stencil, or some, you know.
Yeah, and the jelly plate is really dear. Yeah. I bought it for the jelly plate. I wasn't expecting there to be anything else much in it, but absolute bargain.
To be fair, I got this bargain. This was mine. This was from Lidl this week. So it's acrylic paint. It's neon, but they're 100ml pots. But there was a juicer from £3.99 to £2.99. But my best thing was, it was the instruction booklet. I was reading it out to my dad. So this is the biggest instruction booklet ever that comes with this paint. Honestly, it's a cracker. Let me see if I can find some of the key parts. This is exclusively designed for painting pictures. Any other use is not intended. And then it's got things like attention, risk of damage. This product, wear an overall and cover the floor and furniture. Dad's like, it sounds like you're going to paint the whole house and cover everything. Honestly, you know, when you read something, and I read the whole thing because it just made me laugh so much. Like, only paint a picture and let the picture dry thoroughly. Paint darker layers first and go for lighter colours last. I'm like, no, I feel like being a rebel. I'm going to go in the light colours first. I mean, it's a whole section here on the instructions of how to use this paint. Honestly,
hilarious.
I kept it because it just was like, this is something to make me laugh. Every time I come to use this paint, I'll be laughing at these
How not to write instructions as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know why I read them. I think I read them because it was so big, and I was like, I need to find out what I need to know about how to use some paint. I've never been using it correctly my whole life.
But most instructions are tiny, aren't they? And they're so little, and there's nothing much on there either.
Just says, like, go to our website before, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just tickled me. You know, some things that just make you laugh. Oh, Faye says you did get a bargain on Vinted there.
Absolute bargain.
She's got clothes, but she's not gone down the crafting aisle yet.
There's not that much on there that I found. I did find a really good bargain. Would have been for somebody who's been sold now, but I've got one. Though somebody had a bind it all on there for £15 with wires.
That's good, yeah.
And in a bag as well. And then they reduced it to 13. Yeah, they reduced it to 13. But
I have been avoiding it because lots of people get Kevin the carrots from there, so I'm aware of it.
Oh right.
But yeah, lots of people put their, like, if they get the extra ones on or things like that to try. I think it's trying to avoid the people that are putting them on eBay for way more than they should be. So they've tried to go on the Vinted, but yeah.
I bought toys for the little one from there, and they've been brilliant. Shove them in the washing machine, and you know
go. And I think things like that, because like baby clothes, they're not in them long enough, are they, to get
my daughter gets some stuff for them for nursery on there, and she said some of it is really too nice for nursery.
Yeah, can imagine.
I think I'm almost finished.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I mean, it's not stuck down this, but it's sort of where it's going to end up.
I'm just going to put my title down, I think.
I like the rusty reddy brown in the tag and the arrow that you've added, just to add it just adds a bit more colour, which to a neutral layout I know sounds a bit odd, but you know, just to
Well, I debated adding a bit of orange because one of the colour swatch colours is spice marmalade, but then I thought you don't see tyre tracks, do you, that are orange?
No, I mean, I suppose if there was orange in the photos, like on the t-shirt or something, you could have done that, but there's no other orange to kind of pull from, is there?
No, only the strap vaguely you could. Right, I'm not going
to
do that, Arrow.
I love how, look, I've just looked up at the screen, like, even if we hadn't put our names, we would have known whose layout was whose. It's very much like poles apart.
Yeah. I love that. Love that. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I think we're
quite minimal for me. I know that says a lot, but it's actually quite a minimal layout for me.
It's lovely. But you don't need, sometimes you don't need anything else, do you? Because the pictures tell the story, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very lovely. So I think that's us then.
Yeah.
So thank you ever so much for joining us.
No, thank you for asking me. I've had fun.
Brilliant. Thanks for joining me, Steph. It was really nice of you to step in while Faye is on yet another holiday. I'd just like to point out. Hope you're having a lovely time, Faye. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.